John, is it okay to use your name?
Yeah.
John, I'm having a disconnect between the very nice shirt, collared shirt, and the sports coat, and the au naturel of eating raw meat.
Yeah, I'm trying to class it up a little bit, you know.
Yeah, or I'm just a judgmental fuck that tries to keep people in their box and stereotype them. My goodness, what a man!
Well, have you been following the new chicken page?
Dude, I absolutely love it. It really it's pushing on, like, because I was raised that Christians were bad and salmonella is everywhere. It's funny, since I've been following your page, I've been doing a little research on salmonella. I cannot find chicken salmonella outbreaks. It's that fucking cantaloupe.
Yeah.
we need to outlaw cantaloupe.
Yeah, what? Nobody's worried about the fruit, you know.
It's crazy. It reminds me of the vaccines. If you just do 15 minutes of research, not even that, 5 minutes of research, you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, you should check out. Have you seen? I have a new page called Raw Chicken Experiment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You're 29 or you're 30 days in?
37. I just did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just did day 37, and yeah, that page is way bigger. It's like, yeah, 420,000 in 37 days.
Oh, the Chick-fil-A is amazing.
Hey, dude. Hey, John. How this is? We talked about this last time. How are you such a social media giant? How are you a guru? How is it everything you touch on social media is gold? I mean, you are a fucking genius, dude. I know that's not. I don't think that's your intention, but you're just the man when it comes to social media. I looked on this page. I'm like, dude, this page is 28 days. When I looked at 28 days old, it had 400,000 followers. I'm like, this guy's a god.
Yeah, it's completely insane. I think it's because I do it it's comedy to me, you know, like I'm doing it to entertain myself. And a lot of people will just be like, you're eating raw meat for clout. And it's like, first of all, I had plenty of large pages before I ever did that. So if anything, it just makes people think I'm stupid. You know, it's like it's not a good thing to do when you already have like all these relationships online. But aside from that, it's like, there's also 1,000 people that eat raw meat on Instagram and don't blow up. So like, it's not an easy way to being popular.
Mm-hmm. You're muted.
And on YouTube, thank you, Souza. On YouTube, there's a lot of Tom, Dick, and Harry's eating raw meat. It's everywhere.
Yeah. There's thousands of people out there doing it, but like to do it and also be funny online is like something that not many people mix.
It's interesting. It is a very, you're very zen. I watched the video where the lady, by the way, I DM'd that lady. There's an amazing video, you guys, on YouTube. It's 20 minutes long. It will blow your mind. He's eating a steak and he's holding it in his hand. The framing and everything is genius. And she's a Los Angeles. Is that LA?
Yeah, that was
dude, she's so LA.
That was amazing.
It's LA Valley girl, Ayurvedic yoga guru lecturing him on what a D-bag he is, as nice as she can for eating meat, and then telling her she can help him out of his derangement, and that she'll meet him where he's at, and that she's not the kind of person to force her opinions on people. So I text her, I DM'd her, I'm like, ma'am, you know that you're exactly the person you don't want to be.
Did she answer?
No, I don't even know. It was wild, dude.
That was like, I was only like 2 weeks into eating raw meat at that point. So now that I'm like 2.5 years, like I would actually be good at speaking to her about it. But at that point, like I was like, I don't know, maybe I will die. I have no idea.
Was she the first like person that was like combative in public about what you were doing?
Yeah. She was the first person that she tried to physically stop me from eating lunch at the Whole Foods.
She was fake combative, like trying to be nice, like using like she was some sort of authority. It was amazing. It's amazing, dude. I watched the entire thing. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, wow, this lady is a psycho.
And then I found her like her shop after. She had like a shop online.
Elite Organics, right? With a Q.
Yeah. And it's just these like I don't know what they are, but they all have like seed oils in them and stuff.
Hey, for people who don't, you've been on the show before. For people who don't know, will you give us tell us why you embarked on the raw meat and about the amazing transformation you had?
Yeah, so basically I went from like a very, very long time, many years of like plant-based diets, kind of failing health, going downhill, back pain, like terrible face, cystic acne, actually like everywhere. And yeah, I was just like tired and dizzy all the time. So I ended up going down, just trying anything. I found like some of the carnivore diet people, and I never really went like 100% meat only, like religiously, but I was like, okay, maybe there are health benefits to eating these foods. And then from there, just into raw milk kind of, and like why raw milk versus cooked milk have different nutrients, what the heat does to the nutrients. And then I was like, you know what? I want to just try everything raw and see what happens. So I basically
you did raw you did raw vegetables too. You were committed to that. You did just raw vegetables for a while, right?
Yeah, I did like the raw fruit and vegetables thing for only a few months at a time because it was too hard to like. I would be going to like an office job with like a backpack full of apples and pears and shit. It was just
right.
It was just too difficult for me.
Now you go with a backpack full of dead animals.
Yeah, but you only need like 1.5 pounds instead of like 40 pounds, you know.
Fair.
So you can have a small backpack now. But yeah, so I basically went into that, and I was like, it would be funny to document it. And because there's a few people online that are like, I eat raw meat and I own my own cattle, and like it just seems like very like, how do I actually do this? So I was like, I'll just go sit in front of a Whole Foods, buy the food in there, and just eat it out front, right out of the package, and just see what happens. Talk about it, see what it tastes like. And I didn't really think it was going to blow up because I was like, the audience for this is probably like 190 people. You know, like who would actually? I was like, this is something I would watch personally because I think it's interesting, but nobody else would. So I ended up doing that for 200 days in a row. It kind of blew up. It went on all types of news across the world. They were like, this guy's eating raw meat to see how long until he dies. And he never died. Like my health problems that I initially had went away. I felt better. It just kind of makes sense to me. And also just like, I kept doing it out of spite a little bit because you have like thousands of people telling you you're going to die. And you're like, okay, when? Can you update your, like the TikTok doctors all come after me and make videos? And it's like, okay, you did it on day 3 saying I was going to die, but can you update your followers now on day 840 and tell them why I didn't? You can't.
And they didn't. And they didn't, right?
No, none of them will ever do that because they can't.
Yeah.
And the only thing is like, it's all just food quality, and they don't know anything about that. Like they think eating Walmart chicken is the same as eating a chicken from a farm has no injections, no drugs, isn't eating corn and soy. Like these are just, they think chicken is chicken, you'll get sick. But it's like, you get sick from poisoned chickens, sure, but not chickens that are normal, you know?
When I first came across you, I was eating gas station. After I met you, I ate some gas station ground beef for months. And it was fine too. And I would blend it with my wife would put it in a food processor, a pound, blend it with a little butter and a couple dates, and I would just eat that shit all day. And
that
sounds
kind of good.
Yeah, it was great.
With beef, I'm not worried at all. Like I got to the point where I'm like, eating beef and drinking water is like equally dangerous to me. You know, there's nothing. I eat Aldi beef all the time. It's $5.
Holy shit, dude.
Wow.
You know what this is? By the way, I want to throw one more thing. When he says he had acne, as I recall when you were on the show, it was so bad that you would put on a shirt and then have to throw the shirt away because it would be covered with little blood specks everywhere all over the back, right? I mean, you had like really bad skin issues.
Yeah, and people sometimes now they're like, your skin doesn't look perfect. And I'm like, well, it doesn't hurt anymore. And it's like 80% better than it was. So,
well, you know what? I know you have great skin, by the way. I don't want to say, please don't take this the wrong way, but I noticed you were eating, with that Chick-fil-A, you had the bread.
Oh yeah.
When you eat that, do your sinuses close up a little bit, or do you feel some immediate breaking out?
Not quite, but it definitely doesn't feel great. I'm just kind of trying to make the videos a little more enjoyable for the people, you know? So I'm eating like a small amount of grains. I'll just take a couple bites, but that was just like the organic, like Dave's bread. I brought my own. I didn't eat like the actual Chick-fil-A bread.
Okay. So that
So
was
it's a little better, but it's not great.
That was just for fun. And you really mixed up your meats.
Yeah.
Is that the penis of that animal? Do we know?
That is just a huge clam that just happens to look like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like Asian women on social media and they'll like squeeze it and it squirts everywhere. And they get
wow.
That
sounds like OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's by the paywall.
I'm surprised it's allowed on there.
Hey, any issues from the great overlords of censorship regarding, because I know that there's accounts that have millions of followers on YouTube where people will just eat boxes and boxes of Fruit Loops and just shit like that and Cheetos, and I don't think they get censored. Did you get censored at all for eating raw meat?
Yeah, I mean, a few times. That when raw meat experiment started blowing up, it was like on every news station in the entire world, like Al Jazeera and all this random shit. And it was going up like 10,000 followers a day. And then all of a sudden it stopped and it never went up a single thousand ever since that 2 years ago. And people were DMing me saying like, it won't allow me to follow you. Like the follow button didn't work anymore because it was going up so fast. And then, yeah, so that page pretty much stayed. That's why for the chicken one, I started a new page and I was like, you know, maybe we can like get around the shadow banned page and go viral this time. And it did work, but at first it wouldn't allow me to comment or caption my own videos and I couldn't follow people. And that could be just because.
Just so you know, I had that too for about 2 months, a month ago. I couldn't, I would write out a whole caption for a video and post it and it wouldn't be there. And then I would notice I would heart people's videos and it wouldn't be there. And I would comment and it would say, you've been commenting too much. And I'm like, what do you mean? I haven't just woke up.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me. And maybe it was because it was like a new page that blew up so fast, but yeah. Also raw meat experiment got completely deleted for no reason for like 6 months. And I sent like 20 emails. For a while, I didn't care. I was like, fuck Instagram. I don't even feel like doing that anymore. And then I'd be like, I kind of missed like the people I was friends with on there though. Like I had like hundreds of people I talked to. So I just kept sending like the emails and the DMs and found some people to email off LinkedIn that worked at Instagram. And I sent one and I was like, I'm going on Dr. Phil this weekend and I'm writing a book and I need all of my backed up information. Like you don't have to give me the page back, but I need the information. And like somehow that maybe made someone feel bad about the book or something. So they got me the page back. That was like 6 months probably that it was gone.
Did the person acknowledge to you that hey, I'm going to get it back for you?
They make it they're like, oh, it looks like there was some sort of mistake. We're sorry about that. Like it looks like AI wrote it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, a mistake, sure. Yeah.
I had an account many years ago, a blue checkmark account that had 100,000 followers, and it was taken from me. And then recently, I had another account taken with me. I want to say it had 15,000, but I don't know. And then I paid someone, a kid in Argentina, $1,300 to get it back for me. And then a week, it worked. Yeah, kind of crazy, right? I paid him $800 and he said, sorry, I can't get it back. And I said, okay, well, either you have to tell me it's a scam and then we just won't talk anymore. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Or give me my $800 back or get it back. And he goes, hey, I'll get it back for you right now if you send me another 500. I go, get it back first. And he said, okay. And then I looked and 20 seconds later it was back. So I sent him the $500. So now it was 1,300. But then a week later it was gone. And then, so I'm like, hey, my account's gone. And he goes, oh, for 1,000, I'll get it back. And it'll never be, I'll put a block on it so they can never erase it. I'm like, I'm good. Thank you though. I'm good.
What kind of scam is going on there?
Right. And I asked him, I said, hey dude, how are you doing this? Like, can you tell me how you're doing this? And he goes, yeah, I have a friend who works there. And so this guy basically collects the money and then his friend brings accounts back. And then I guess they divvy up the loot.
Not a bad scam.
Yeah, no, yeah, capitalism.
I should try to get a job there.
Yeah. Hey, dude, that is really crazy. You got your account back.
Yeah, that was really cool because I started a second one, but like it was at like 18,000 followers. And, you know, it's like, what's the point of growing it again if they're just going to kill it?
Yeah.
It was way easier for me to get people on the show. I think when I met you, I probably had the 100,000 account and it had a blue check mark because people would respond to it. And now, you know, with the, I don't know how 2,000 followers or whatever I have now, no one responds. I'm like, will you come on my podcast? And they're just crickets.
Yeah. For podcasts, a lot of people, they all have fake followers anyway on Instagram. Like I get asked on a lot. I'm saying no to most of them just because it's a lot of time. But yeah, you have to like check their actual podcast stats on the app and see how many reviews they have or something. But
well, I appreciate you coming on. This crowd is every one of my listeners is obsessed with what they put in their mouth, whether they eat healthy or not. This crowd is they're really focused on their mouth. Tell me about the whole bacteria thing. Is that like you were on Dr. Phil and he just sounds like a moron to me. He sounds like he's just regurgitating stuff, like he hasn't done any research.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on you can't eat raw meat bacteria? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like every animal on earth eats nothing but raw foods except for us. And we have sushi, steak tartare, and all these raw foods that somehow get a pass. But then they just kind of, I think it's just to stop people from questioning, like, can we eat raw foods? You know, because you're like, okay, technically it's in its natural state. It's not destroyed in any way. And you would expect that it has more nutrients that way. But then they're like, but you can eat it because it's covered in these little monsters that want to kill you. And also, so pretty much where I'm at with it is like the bacteria gets blamed for the poisons added to the foods. You know, like it could be, maybe you got sick from like eating 1,000 pounds of pesticides in the last 2 months. And then they're like, there's a lot of salmonella there. And the raw meat people will say that like the bacteria has jobs, you know, like maybe it's cleaning up, trying to make it so that you don't die from eating all of this glyphosate or something like that. So, I mean, they'll say in like the non-germ theory people, you know, they say there's no such thing as bad bacteria. And that's kind of how it makes sense to me. Like, why would there be good and bad bacteria, but only for humans? And like animals can just eat whatever they want. Like a dog can lick a toilet and like eat raw chicken off the floor and be fine. But somehow we're so weak that we're not allowed to do it.
The more and more I looked into things like polio and tetanus, and basically they to get to you, they have to be put into your blood for you to get polio or for you to get tetanus. It has to be put into your blood without ever touching oxygen.
Yeah.
And which would make it very, very hard to get polio. And then the more and more I read about it, I realized that where I've kind of settled my understanding of how you get it is basically you have to have leaky gut and you have to eat it. And then, you know, your digestive tract is separated from it. There's a blood barrier there, right? And basically you have to have leaky gut which comes from eating pesticides, specifically arsenic and lead, which were used as pesticides. And then, and that's why people were getting polio, is because it was passing through that blood barrier, and then people were getting it. And as soon as people weren't poisoned, it didn't matter kind of what they ate. Your stomach could fucking destroy anything.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like to be sick, you have to be poisoned in some way. Because it's like you mentioned Weston Price before.
Yeah.
If you go like any of those communities of people, there's still some around today. There's still people doing the type of work that he was doing. And it's like they live to 80 or 100 years. There's no medicine. There's no doctors. They just eat food from nature. Some cooked, some raw. You know, it's like that's if you're looking for like the natural human diet, like what does a healthy human that lives a full life eat in nature? And they eat like an animal-based diet. You know, it's like they try to eat as much animals and fish as they can, and then they eat whatever plants they can find that don't kill them in addition to that.
And saturated fat's kind of the miracle food. That's where all the vitamins and minerals are. What we've been told to stay away from. That's raw. That raw fat is where like all the things are that we really, really need.
Yeah, you need the animal fat for sure.
Yeah, it's wild. You posted a video. I think it's of an Inuit people I think that's like Eskimos, north and people in the north. And they basically, I don't know what animal it was, but they killed an animal and then they basically ripped it open and used it like a bowl and circled all the blood up with all, and then they took all the organs and they were dipping it in the blood and eating it. And it was like the whole family, the grandmother, the babies, the moms, dads, uncles, and they were just sitting there just eating it like just a fresh kill. It's a remarkable video.
Yeah, some people say that the word Eskimo means eaters of raw meat, and like they do eat a lot of their stuff raw. That was actually on Anthony Bourdain. They killed like a seal, a giant seal, and the grandma was like, "I want the brain. We need to eat the brain." And then they drink a bunch of the blood and they save the rest of the blood for like pudding or something.
Do you know this question? I'm putting you on the spot here, but does everything have salmonella in it? And so we all have salmonella, but it's just the fact if the bacteria gets out of control and runs at wild, that's when you have problems?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I mean, they've tested like people in tribes where they have E. coli and salmonella in their gut at all times. And that's just like a normal part of life. Like people are like, aren't you scared of salmonella? I'm like, no, like I'm trying to eat healthy salmonella. I think it's when it could be like a reaction of like the salmonella is trying to digest all of the toxins in the chicken on the shelf at like Target, and like, so then the waste that they produce is toxic and you're eating like toxic waste of salmonella.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So that's one of the theories that I see going around.
Do you know about gorillas, about their digestive system? Have you looked into that at all?
Not much.
It was people were like, hey, gorillas are big and strong, and I can't remember exactly how, and they don't eat any protein. And then someone explained to me, yeah, dude, they're eating tons of protein. And I'm like, what do you mean? I guess they eat those vegetables to feed something that's inside of their gut that they actually digest, and whatever that thing is, it's their protein. So they do consume a shitload of protein, and they're not actually using the vegetables they eat or the plant matter they eat as sustenance. They're feeding something that lives inside of them that eats the plants, and that's how they get their protein. I was like, well, yeah, duh. Now that makes sense.
Yeah, I've heard similar for other animals, because people are like, well, this animal's strong. Why can't you just be a vegan? And it's like a cow eats grass. Like, see how long you can last eating grass. Like it's just a fact that different animals have different digestive systems. It's not like we're like eating and killing animals because we hate them. It's just like, this is just what humans have always done the whole time.
Cantaloupe recall: salmonella outbreak reveals 8 dead, 100 sickened in U.S. and Canada. Yeah, it's amazing. But cantaloupe just gets a pass.
Yeah, you can't mess with the fruit cartel.
Yeah,
it's wild. And I dug around for like 15 minutes and I wasn't able to find people dying from chicken consumption.
The thing is everything is against the foods that are actually good. It's like you can't eat raw fish because they're parasites. You can't eat fish at all because they have heavy metals. You can't eat animal fat because it'll give you a heart attack. You can't eat eggs because it has too much cholesterol. You can't eat anything raw because you'll die of whatever. So it's like there's nothing like where it just like it's put in your head so many times that it actually like angers you when you see someone talk about it. So like it doesn't happen with like chips or Wendy's,
Soda,
like you'll never.
That's fine. Yeah,
you'll never see somebody eating like Wendy's online and get triggered. But like when I eat chicken, like people get like violently angry, just like they've been told
crazy.
So hard. It's like, why do you care?
Yeah, that's
some
what I wonder.
Some dumbass online's eating chicken. Okay, big deal. Like, how is that going to affect your life? If anything, you should be like, this is funny. I don't care about this stranger if he lives or dies.
What do you think that psychological mechanism is? I brought a flat earther on here, and fucking the audience went crazy. Like people were pulling out their pitchforks. Like they hated him. And to tell you the truth, you could tell this guy was trained to fight because he's received so much.
Yeah.
So he was combative too, right? So, and I was trying to facilitate this conversation between me and him and the audience. But what do you think it is about things like that? Someone suggesting that the earth is flat, or saying, hey, it's okay to eat raw chicken. And actually, not only is it okay, but it's better for you.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on what what triggers them psychologically?
It has to just be because they've been told so many times in a certain way, like
But
it really.
I don't even think these people know that they're like, imagine like, so like, I don't know if someone said like, hey, I hate all Armenians, and I've been raised to believe I'm Armenian, right? My mom and dad are Armenian. It would hit me a little bit. I'd be like, ooh, I feel like where that's what I identify with. But I don't think people walk around thinking that they identify with, hey, I'm a food cooker.
Yeah.
Like I cook my meat, I cook my food. And then all of a sudden someone says they raw meat and they fucking flip out.
Yeah, they get it's like one of the most angry things I've ever seen, especially the raw chicken. That's why it blew up so fast. It got like it's on every news, like hundreds of thousands of like Facebook boomers are just commenting like, he's an idiot, this guy's stupid. And you click on their picture and it's just
see, that just triggered me. Facebook boomers. That's me. You just talked about it.
I'm pretty much a Facebook boomer too, but the comments that get left under like news articles on Facebook, they're not the most in-depth conversations.
What is it? I've never had raw chicken. I mean, I've eaten chicken that's, I guess I have had raw chicken. I've had chicken that like, they bring it to me or I eat it and I'm like, ooh, this isn't cooked all the way. And I get freaked out a little bit by the texture. And I do want to try it.
I think
any suggestions on how I try it, like where I go, what I should do? Like I saw you cutting it with scissors. Should I cut it in small pieces? Like what should I do if I want to try that?
Well, basically for chicken, like I'm still, like I said, with raw beef, like there's 0% concern in my head anymore. With chicken, I'm still kind of like the big rotisserie propaganda is still kind of controlling me. So I'm very careful about sourcing. I'll do like, basically it just has to be organic, like pasture raised, outside eating bugs. And the highest quality you can find is if they say no corn and no soy. Like if they're not feeding them GMO corn and soy, which 99% of birds are fed, then you can tell like this person knows how to raise a good chicken. Like that's like the top level you can be. So I mean, Amish farms do that. There's Amish farms you can order from online. They'll ship it to you frozen.
Here, look, someone's giving some good advice here. Eat your chicken with an ambulance on standby.
Yeah. I mean, I have just straight up walked into Whole Foods, bought the weird looking chicken off the shelf, opened the plastic outside and ate it, and nothing happened.
The one sitting in styrofoam, and it's and it's all good. The texture's fine. It's good.
Yeah, the texture's actually great for breast. Like you'd be surprised. It's just like I say, it's like a scallop. It's like biting a scallop that like barely tastes like chicken. Like it doesn't taste strong. When you cook it, it gets like 10 times stronger. So it's just like a refreshing, like moist scallop that just kind of tastes like chicken a little bit.
How are your teeth since that? Have you been to the dentist? Are your teeth just amazing now that you're not eating shit?
They're definitely better, but I haven't been to the dentist much.
Yeah, you don't need to.
No, if you only eat like raw meat, like you don't even have to brush your teeth. Like you don't get like all the like. And I mean, I'm like a 90% good eater, 10% like friends, coworkers going out to eat and stuff. So I still eat like other shit, and like I feel worse, but I'm like, whatever. I'm eating 90% good, so I feel 90% better than I used to.
What about caffeine? Do you do coffee?
No, I'm staying off all drugs right now.
No drugs at all. No stimulants, no nothing.
3 years, no drugs, no supplements, no pills whatsoever, no powders. I'm doing food only.
God, good on you.
Wow. Yeah, it just feels better. I mean, I did tons of drugs for like 20 years. I've done everything you could possibly, like every situation you can get into on drugs, I've done it. I had fun.
Threesome on ecstasy?
I mean almost. There's been a lot of stuff has gone down. I just feel like if I'm going to drink 25 beers in a day again, like how many times can I do that? I've done it 1,000 times.
When you drank, was that like when you would do that? Was that like Coors Light or Natty Ice or stuff like that?
The most recent chapter, like 4 years ago, was White Claw.
Oh,
We got into the White Claw and we were smoking Juuls, and I was working in a meme office. So it was just like 10 people making memes and drinking White Claws and shit. It was kind of fun, but I felt like I had brain damage the whole time.
Hey, I fucked around with a Juul for about 6 months, and I started stuttering.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
not bad, but I would start to talk, and then I went online and looked, and it was a common thing from I basically poisoned my brain. But I'd sometimes go to talk, and I would get a little.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
I smoked cigarettes.
Did you ever have that?
I didn't get a stutter, but
no.
I was like every other breath was vaping, you know, like I was going hard on it for a while.
Was that hard to quit, the Juul?
I feel like nicotine was probably the hardest. Caffeine can kind of suck to quit just because it's everywhere. And, you know, like if you have to wake up and do some shit, or like you stay out too late and then you have to go to work, like it's a good cheat code. But I think nicotine was the hardest one to quit, probably, especially because for me, I have to quit drinking to quit nicotine. Because if I have like 3 drinks, there's 100% chance I'll just go buy a vape or cigarettes. Like I can't.
Right.
I just did them together for so long that like it's not. I have to get rid of both.
It sucks that vaping's so bad for you, because it really is a it's so fun, like the big billowing clouds and how deep you can take it, and the smoothness and the taste. It's a shame that it's so bad.
Yeah, there's so many flavors, but it's just like in the office we could just hit it all day, and then like watching TV you hit it all day, and then I'd be like on a 3-hour flight, like hitting it in the bathroom and shit. I'm like, there's something wrong with me.
Right. Did you ever have sex and be vaping at the same time?
I would not be surprised.
No. Yeah.
A little vape break.
That's when I noticed. I was like, oh, this is crazy, because like you shouldn't be doing anything while you're having sex. You should be like, but
yeah. Like the good thing about manual cigarettes was like you had to go outside and make it like a I'm going to do this, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
The vaping you can just do the whole time.
Shannon Medeiros, Justin got organic meat from Good Ranchers. Crazy scary how much smaller an organic chicken breast is versus 1 pound with steroids sold in the supermarket. Oh, interesting.
It's very true. Yeah, like yesterday, my video, I was holding up the whole chicken. They're small chickens.
You ever put a piece of meat up to your raw meat up to your mouth, or and decide not to do it, or smelt it, or tasted something, and you're like, hey, I'm not eating this. Something's off.
It happened to me once where I was eating just like a pound of ground lamb I had in my fridge for a while.
Wait, did you eat you ate the shell too?
Yeah.
Sorry. We'll come back to the bad meat in a second. Thanks, Kayla, for derailing the show. What's up with eating the shell? How did you get that idea?
I did it a few times on Raw Meat Experiment. Like I've been doing it for a long time. I don't do it all the time in real life, but it's just really triggering to people.
How is that? I've never done that. Yesterday, after I had some raw eggs yesterday just because to like get with the show.
Yeah.
But tell me about eating the egg. I've never done that.
So amazingly,
yeah,
I like rinse it off in the sink a little bit, and then you just put it in your mouth and crunch it. It explodes, and within like 5 seconds of chewing, it's just gone. You swallow it you don't feel a single thing at all. You never see it come out the other end. Like
it doesn't tear your ass up. Like when I was a kid, I used to eat sunflower seeds and it would tear my ass up when it came out.
The seeds aren't good, but the shells, it just disappears immediately. Like it's crazy. People are like, you must be bleeding all over your gums and shit. But if you actually did it, you'd be like, wow, that's so easy. Like it's not even cool anymore.
I'm going to try it. John, yesterday I released a tooth powder, Matuthian. So a few months ago, I started really getting into tooth powder. My mom and my sister have beautiful teeth, and they just brushed their teeth with baking soda, and they've done that for years and years and years. And then I had a guest on, and we were talking about fluoride, so I went down the fluoride rabbit hole, and I'm like, wow, you can't find every single study says it's toxic. Even the people who are pushing it's like, oh, it's okay, just a little bit, but it is a neurotoxin. If you get too much, it will lower your IQ unequivocally. 100% of the people that we gave fluoride poisoning to, their IQ went down, especially little kids. And it's not, and you don't recover from it. It does like permanent damage to the brain. In the Methusian that I'm selling, one of the pieces are eggshells, ground up eggshells in there. Do you use powdered toothpaste?
I don't. I haven't really looked into it, but I have seen people like crunching up eggshells to make calcium powder or whatever they're doing, tooth powder, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to send you some of this. You're going to love it. It's absolutely, it's just.
What do? You just put it on a brush?
You wet your brush, you bang the brush out on the side of the sink, and then you just put it in there and you brush your teeth with it. And my teeth have never felt cleaner. Like they're like, before when you brushed your teeth with toothpaste, you thought your teeth were clean, but it was just your mouth was fresh from the chemicals. You're like, holy crap, my teeth are clean.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't even use toothpaste at all, really.
You just use the brush and water.
Yeah, just the brush and water for a couple years. I remember somebody saw me like dunking a toothbrush into baking soda in my bathroom once and put it in my mouth, and they just like started dying laughing. It was like 10 years ago. They're like, that's the craziest shit I ever saw. But I was like, it must be like 20 years ago now. I got somehow into Alex Jones, and I was like going hard on so I've been like scared of fluoride for like 20 years at this point.
He talks about that?
He did back then. I haven't listened to him in a long time. He's now it seems like he's like political and like scam. It's way more scammy now. I was with him before because he was like, everybody's a scammer. Don't believe any of them. They're all trying to kill you. So I'm like, old Alex Jones was good with me, but
old school Alex. Yeah.
What happened to him? You think like he went mainstream and like softened his message, or?
Well, one of my friends that was always like the conspiracy guy, he's like the 5G towers are coming after me. He's like, just the paranoid friend.
Yeah.
And like, I learned a lot from him, like I owe him a lot for being the paranoid friend, but also he texted me like that he was like pro Trump a few years ago. And I was like, wait, what? I thought,
yeah, wow, you're really going out on a limb there.
I thought we were all like against,
go like, Hillary.
They're all scammers, That's okay. That's how we used to grow up. So then I was like, oh, so Jones must be pro Trump now. So it just got like, when you're fighting like within the system at that point, kind of like it just makes it like the same as watching like Fox News with like a conspiracy twist. So it just seemed more useless to me. I still think he's like one of the greatest comedians that ever existed. He's like the funniest.
Was he a comedian? Did he start off as a comedian, Alex Jones?
No, not even, but just like the way that he acts, and like, like the memes on the Reels Explore page, like anyone that has Alex Jones in it is just so good.
Yeah. Hey, tell me about this, because I was in a discussion with with someone this morning about this, and I'm not a Christian. But there's this huge push politically coming from the right now that the left is going to huge push from the left that the right is going to take away democracy. And we've just lived through what's interesting is I believe, from what I've seen, we've just lived through 3 years of the left taking away democracy, right? The censorship, the freedom of speech is the big one, right? That one's kind of scary. And then the mandating of drugs. And then of course the open racism that's just being espoused everywhere in the name of fighting racism. So I'm watching that, and but now the left is saying that the right's going to take away democracy. And I was talking with these people the other day, and although I'm not a Christian, Christians have this value that we have inalienable rights. In those trump democracy, those are part of our liberty. And do you ever think about that? About like, hey, maybe it is within the game, but this team is doing too well with things I don't like this open hatred towards white men. Maybe I'll chip in on and help on this side a little bit. I will vote for Trump because I believe more in inalienable rights than this getting rid of democracy thing. Like, do you ever do you think like that at all, or no? You just stay away from the whole thing, transcend the whole thing?
Kind of, yeah. I'm transcending the whole thing. But I mean, of course, like sometimes they'll be like, this side is making a better point to these people. and they make it so like you get really invested in it, but at the end of the day, I don't think those people are really making any of the decisions that matter. Like when there's like a class of people that are just printing out unlimited money for free and have been for thousands of years, like, and then if you read like the Council on Foreign Relations, like it's a private group, and they're old like history books by Carol Quigley. They say that like since the 1950s, all of the presidents were chosen by this group, and like it's just a branch of like a Royal Institute of International Affairs, the British one. They have groups, it's like there's just clubs kind of above this. I heard it was actually KRS-One back in the day. He said, he was like, the president is like the Burger King manager, or not the manager, like the cashier, it's like, that's the face that you see. If like management makes a new rule that you don't like you can yell at him or like throw tomatoes at him. But yeah, in the old books, they would just say that the whole like democracy, like you get to choose a new person every 4 years. Basically, you'll be pissed off by the end of the 4 years, and you're pretty much just voting somebody out. But just giving you the illusion that you're choosing every 4 years keeps the people from uprising. Like that's all you need.
What do you what about do you think that those people, this club did not want Trump to be in office? Do you think that was somehow he slipped by?
For that, I kind of don't.
You think they wanted you to think that he slipped by? That was part of the story.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Fascinating.
I do find him kind of funny. Like he's a funny person, but I don't know. I don't trust anybody with that much money, I guess.
do you think that those people know that they're being chosen? You think they're looped in, or no, they don't even know?
Not completely, but partially. Like I'm sure they get a lot of benefits, and they get to go to the correct parties and stuff like that. But
and fly in the good planes and that shit.
Yeah, and then they're just kind of told what to do. It's like any person would take the job. It's like human nature to take a job like that.
Did you take the vaccine? No,
I'm sort of like the fluoride thing. I've just been scared of big pharma for like 20 years.
Yeah, smart. I didn't take it. I didn't take it either. And now I'm glad I didn't do it. Now I'm like, do you think that people are dying from the evidence you've seen? You think people are dying from blood clots?
As far as I've seen, yeah, but I'm not quite sure.
So you think that?
I don't know. I'm honestly like, I don't know. Like
you're out of that.
I'm out of it because I'm just like, I wouldn't. It's not something I would do. Like I don't want like a pharmaceutical company injecting something into my body.
Right.
It's like I'm eating raw meat on the internet.
Are you in Los Angeles or in Florida?
Now I'm in Florida. I've been moving around like every year or two because I work remote.
Can you tell me what you do?
I make memes for.
You're still doing that?
Still the same job. Yeah. It's like I make memes for pages that just need content, Do
you work for a specific? Do you work for a specific company, or are you contracted?
I do a lot of work for a specific company, and then also just do stuff on the side, help out people.
Would someone like I don't know, like the NFL contract you and be like, hey, we want like 15 memes on Taylor Swift and Mr. Pfizer, and then you do that?
They do stuff like that. I haven't seen that personally, but I have seen it's mostly brands that I see. I haven't seen like.
How about political organizations? Do they ever hire you? I would think you would be crazy valuable to a political organization.
They did once. They hired a company I was working for, and everybody got extremely upset about it.
I had no idea that there were. I guess I never thought about it. I didn't realize that there were like meme farms.
Yeah, there's meme farms, and I work.
Meme farm.
So, but like, it's mostly just funny shit that I'm involved in. It's like useless, just like useless funny shit that you just scroll past all day. I make stuff like that, and that like the more content they have, the more like ads and t-shirts they can sell on their pages and stuff like that.
Hey, have you been sick at all in the last 4 years, and since you started this meat thing, and what are your sicknesses like as opposed to before you started this when you get sick?
So I've got sick once, and
You had a cold or something, the flu, or
it was like a flu, like maybe COVID, if that's a real thing, or just
were you hacking up like green stuff, boogers, like the ones you can spit really far, like that?
I was like knocked out in bed for a few days. So I never got sick from any of the raw meat shit. And then I flew. This was like basically 1 year ago. So I was good for like 3 years. Then I flew to Hollywood to go on Dr. Phil. And it was the first time I ever got tested for COVID. At first, they were like, you need to be shot up to be on here. And I was like, all right, I won't go. And then they were like, no, you just need to be tested when you get here. So they like put the shit up your nose or whatever. And I did the shit. And then like the next day I was sick. So it's
wow.
Like, did you put some shit up my nose, bro?
Wow. Hey, have you ever seen the video of the guys bagging those
the COVID tests?
You ever seen that?
I haven't, but I follow like conspiracy on Reddit. Like I was into that forum during the COVID stuff because it was like exciting, you know. It's like what's going on, but I mean, overall, it's mostly useless. But
dude, there was a video. I don't know where it was, but it's a room, and there's like 10 guys in there just in their shorts with their shirts off. Yeah, it's like this. Yeah, look at this.
Packing your COVID test.
For every 3,000 bags they make, they get 3 pennies.
Oh my god!
It was just it was amazing because I was like, you know, there's people on the conspiracy pages that are like, don't take the test. The test is what gets you sick. And then I didn't do anything at all until years later. I take one test and I got sick the next day. I was sick for like a week and a half, like just felt really like dizzy and shitty. I don't know. But
wow.
That was it. I haven't been sick since then. And I feel like I feel like colds and flus are just kind of like a clean out session for your body, you know? So I don't take anything or fight it. It's like you're just sweating some shit out, you know, your ass might explode a little bit. You're cleaning out some gut bacteria, whatever the deal is, but it's like a spring cleaning.
I always trip on people who are like freaked out when they have diarrhea. I love diarrhea.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, this is awesome.
Yeah. Diarrhea. Like it feels pretty good.
I love it. Yeah. I'm like, this is nice.
Yeah. I said that online too. And people were like, you're crazy. But then I explained it and they're like, all right, I guess it is kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't have any pan. I'm not like, oh my God, my poop has changed consistency. I'm sick. But there's people like that. Like, they're concerned about every single shit. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I mean, if you change your diet in like any way, or, you know, it's just clean outs sometimes. I read this one lady's book. She writes like nutrition stuff. I forget her name right now. She did the GAPS diet, but she was like, if you ever get salmonella from eating a raw egg, like she's like, if you get salmonella and get sick from eating a raw egg, you'll probably like shit your ass off for 2 weeks, but then you'll be healthier at the end. Like it's only cleaning you out, if anything.
Oh, I'll buy it. I like it.
Yeah. I was like, all right.
Are you exercising these days? Are you training at all? You going to the gym?
No, I'm not doing the gym stuff. I'm doing, that's her. She's cool. I'm not doing the gym stuff. I skateboard a little bit. I play disc golf. I go on hikes every day.
Oh, you're like so disc golf. Damn, fuck, man.
You
fall right. Yeah, you fall right into the stereotype. Son of a bitch.
I was thinking about it last night too. I was like, everybody.
Son of a bitch.
People know I play disc golf without asking me.
Oh my God. I so am judging you right now. God, I should have known.
Yeah. But now I'm the only disc golfer that doesn't smoke weed, so I don't even fit in with them.
Oh man.
Yeah,
it's a tough prerequisite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another crazy thing. I don't smoke weed either, but I love the smell of weed. Like if I'm somewhere and someone's smoking, I'm like, boy, I have 3 little boys. I'm like, boy, smell the ganja. They're like, it smells like shit. I'm like,
take it in, boys.
I love the smell of weed.
I love the smell.
I love the smell of cigarettes still too. Like
me too. Especially when someone first light ones up, I'm like, yeah.
People will be in my car like, can I smoke in here? I'm like, please do. I'm like, I don't smoke anymore, but like I still like how it smells. Alcohol, I drank a lot, but I still don't like how I think alcohol smells like shit.
Yeah, I agree. What about I'm gonna come back to the exercise thing, but in the bad meat thing. Okay, exercise and bad meat.
Coffee?
No.
Smell of cocaine? No. I'm just-
that shit's kind of crazy too. That shit just smells like burning plastic now if you smell it.
I haven't in a long time. I quit doing cocaine in high school.
What a fucking disgusting smell that thing is. Frisbee golf. Well, fuck it. I'll just ask you about exercise. Why aren't you exercising? Why don't you why don't you put yourself under tension? Why don't you lift some heavy weights? I think you would get some more data points and like some composition shit that would intrigue you with the diet you're on. Like some quick adaptations.
A lot of people tell me I should. Every time I get into it, I do it for like a month and then stop. And that's just how I've been for many years. So I don't know.
What movements do you like? What movements do you like? Like, do you like the lat pull down machine, or do you like running, or like what movements do you like?
I did running. I would run every day for like a couple months in a row, and then go on vacation for a week, and then just stop.
Yeah.
When I was in LA, I had like a calisthenics park right next to our apartment. So I was doing like push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups, and body weight squats, like those 4.
Yeah, those are awesome. Those are awesome.
I was like, that covers pretty much everything. I'm not trying to go crazy, you know.
Do you miss it? I would think that like do you miss sweating and getting that kind of that mental clarity and that free endorphin rush?
In a way, I kind of liked it, but also just going on like an hour and a half walk in Florida, you're gonna be sweating too.
Yeah.
So like I still sweat every day, and like I like walking. I don't know. I'm just not. The running just kind of started feeling shitty. Like my knees felt a little shittier.
That calisthenic park you went to in LA, was it in was it near Beverly Hills, and it had those A-frame steel ring bars? Do you remember the name of the park? I wonder if it's the park whenever I would go to LA, I'd go fuck around in.
Not the same one. There's a bunch of them. This one was just in like, I was in Marina Del Rey. It's just on the side of like a busy road. And then I would go to like Venice, like the Muscle Beach area had all like the pull-up bars and stuff too.
Oh yeah, okay. Hunter McIntyre, High Rocks world champion, both in the doubles and the singles. This guy looks like Ernie from Sesame Street. Caleb, is that true? Can we see? Oh, I forget what Ernie looks like. I'm 90% sure this dude's a Muppet. Yeah, wow.
Anything's possible.
He plays frisbee golf, Hunter.
Anything's possible.
I've been getting Bob Dylan a lot, Tucker Carlson.
Oh, I see Bob Dylan. Wow. I see little Ernie. I could see little Ernie. Yeah. Or he'd be more of a relative. A relative with is Ernie a black guy? Ernie seems like the black guy version of you, maybe.
Yeah.
The Islander version.
We got similar hair. So I decided so I'm doing the chicken experiment for 100 days. I feel like it's like that'll get a little bit long and boring for the viewers maybe, but 100 days is like a good, like, I can just always be like, I ate raw chicken for 100 days, or like, it just comes up in conversations. People will be harder to disprove my theory after 100 days. And also
it starts to become hard for them to say you got lucky.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you do like 25, they'll be like, oh, well, it's 1 in 25 that gets you. So you're statistically fine. But I'll do 100 days.
Look at this, Brett Weinstein. Yeah, young Brett Weinstein. I see that. Wow. Okay.
But I also decided for the 100 days, I'm not going to cut my hair at all and just like let it get like crazy fro style. Just because the comments are funny. People are like,
are you Jewish?
Not Jewish.
No. Oh.
I'm like,
are you sure?
No, people have been asking me. I'm half Italian and half Irish.
Oh, okay. I see that. That makes it Jew. That is what Jews are.
Is that true?
It's got all the ingredients.
As far as I've been told.
Look at that. Oh my God. Brett Weinstein hasn't looked that good in 20 years. Yeah, you look like the young version of that. Holy shit. Look at you.
Damn, if that's where I'm going, I'm fine with it.
Hey, can you grow facial hair, John?
I can.
You can.
Yeah, I just don't like how it feels.
Gotcha. With this diet, is your hair, and I know you've been doing it a long time, but did you notice anything in your nails, your hair, anything like that?
People say my hair has been growing faster, but I'm not sure if that's true. It was possibly more gray before I started eating like liver and oysters. People say the copper. copper deficiency causes that. I'm not quite
Oh.
sure if that's 100% sure, but that's like the main theory on gray hair out there. So the
Wow.
plant,
Interesting.
I was on plant-based for so long, like I never ate any of that shit, and I had gray hairs in like high school.
You did?
Yeah, it was young.
Wow.
My dad had like, I forget, he was in like Catholic school in like 4th grade, and they like kicked him out to shave his beard.
Oh, wow.
And he had gray hair like very young too.
When you were on Dr. Phil, your hair, you didn't even look like you. It looked like your hair had been straightened or something. How did you do that? That's the only time I've seen your hair like that. Did they style it for you?
They did all that shit to me.
Wow.
They didn't tell me to bring anything. So I showed up there with like a backpack filled with eggs. All I had in the backpack was eggs, because I was like, it would be funny if I could drink this on the show. But they didn't let me do that. And also, some lady came out. She wasn't very nice. And she was like, all right, so let's see the outfits you brought. Let's see your outfit options. I was like, I didn't bring anything. I just had on like a flannel, you know? And she was like, all right, we'll go get you some clothes. And they just brought me like this like extreme boomer outfit, and then brought me up to this makeup lady. This lady does makeup on me and like does my hair. She's like, your hair looks fine, but it's not TV ready or whatever. So she had to like,
what the fuck?
Are you glad to be out of LA?
LA it's pretty stressful, but there's things I miss about it. I would go back if it wasn't so like stressfully expensive.
What about the scene there? The people. When I think of LA, I think of like rude, unhappy, close-minded,
superficial.
Superficial. Not willing to discuss things. It's like I don't enjoy people the Los Angeles culture.
Yeah, there's a lot of ego there. It's like, I feel like every high school has like 5 extremely annoying people that want to be on TV, and all of them go there.
Wow.
So it's just like, that's the entire LA. But I would just skate down Venice Beach every day to the Santa Monica Pier. You know, that's like, it's just a beautiful part of the country, kind of.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Aside from the people,
and the crimes got whacked too.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. When I was there, they cleaned up all like the Venice Beach homeless people and shit. But
they did do that, really?
For the most part. But I mean, you still if you drive for like more than an hour a day, you're gonna see somebody like shitting on the sidewalk or something.
Right.
California, baby. Yep.
And then it doesn't rain. So the shit's just there forever.
It just bakes there on the floor.
Yeah.
That's okay, but don't eat raw chicken. Just live amongst the human feces.
Exactly.
Hey, dude. So yesterday I saw this thing. So I grew up in the Bay Area, so people were always talking about chemtrails, and they were all the fucking wackadoodles. Like, it was always someone who then, as they walked away, would be talking to themselves, or they were just fucked up people.
Yeah.
So yesterday I see this lady on Instagram reading to like the Los Angeles or Santa Ana City Council, and she's like, "Hey, you're doing weather modification on us."
Yeah.
And she calls up the website, and holy fuck. So I went to the government website. Yeah, this thing.
Oh, wow.
I had no fucking idea that this is real.
Yeah.
We've had the most rain in my 51 years. We've had the most rain we've ever had the last 2 years. And they've been cloud seeding for the last 2 years in California. They're doing weather modification programs. I had no fucking idea. They've been putting silver oxide, flying it over, and this is how stupid I was. I would see the chemtrails all over, and I'd be like, no, those aren't chemtrails. There's got to be another explanation.
Yeah. There was a really good documentary back in the day, like I probably saw it 10 or 15 years ago, called What in the World Are They Spraying? And it was in Northern California, like people with farms, they would go test like the heavy metals in the trees and be like, look at all these trees are all dying, and all these heavy metals are in the soil that aren't supposed to be. And yeah, just a bunch of stuff like that. They always called it geoengineering or cloud seeding. They had clips from like Paul McCartney had like a birthday party.
Yeah.
And he just openly said on the news, he was like, yeah, we're going to have the military make sure that it doesn't rain, and laughed. And like, he wasn't kidding, you know, they used to do it to make it rain in like the Vietnam War, to like flood them out and stuff.
I cannot. It says chemtrails are still BS. Cloud seeding has existed for probably 100 years. What's the difference between do you know what the difference between chemtrails and cloud? Isn't chemtrails just the trail from this? I just assumed it was the trail from the silver oxide.
Yeah, well, some people say it's BS. Some people say contrails disappear, chemtrails stay and spread and turn into clouds.
Well, that's a government website saying that they've been doing it for years.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's like government reports and stuff like that.
Like they even tell you how it works. It even says in there the dangers of silver oxide. Like they're not even hiding it. They're like, yeah, this shit's poisonous.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we're not spraying enough for it to be poisonous.
Like there are planes spraying metals into the skies. And then after that, you can just say like whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. That's the argument.
I cannot believe how much. You wouldn't believe how long have you been out of California?
A year and a couple months.
So were you here last winter?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw all that rain. It was nuts, right? Was that the most rain you've ever seen in your life in California?
Yeah, I heard it's been doing that again, but we haven't been there.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's basically been raining for a fucking month. I mean, I don't care. I like it because I have 100 fruit trees on the property, but people down the hill probably fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts, and the whole drought thing is crazy too. Bad meat. Tell me. So have you ever had any meat where you smelt it or you tasted it and you're like, hey, I'm not eating this?
Yeah, it happened once. It was just like I had ground lamb in the fridge for like a week or something, and I just went to eat it as normal, and I ate like a decent amount. I think I maybe put like kimchi or something on it so I didn't really taste it too much. And then I just realized I was like, this smells bad. This tastes like wrong. It tasted just like some like cheese or something. So I was just like, throw that away and hope for the best. Nothing happened.
And that was probably just bacteria growth, something growing on it, and was just blooming.
I think so. Yeah. Because then I've talked to some people, like every raw chicken eater in the entire globe has DM'd my page at this point. And some guys were like, yeah, I ate raw chicken for 10 years. I had a problem once. I got really sick for like a week, but like it smelled bad. So they're like, basically like, if it doesn't smell bad, you'll be fine.
I've had food poisoning probably 4 times in my life. And I can't ever remember. It was definitely never from raw meat. It was like from fucking like mayonnaise or something.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. But all times it was horrible. It's like when you can't decide whether you run to the toilet and you're not sure if you're going to vomit or your shit. It's a bizarre situation to be in.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of comments about it. And then I always ask them, I'm like, but was it from raw chicken or was it they're like, no, it was from this random food or like a Snickers or KFC was undercooked.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
KFC.
So like, I'm pretty sure we all have an equal chance of getting food poisoning, even though I'm eating this,
John, in all the content I've scoured that you've done, I've never seen you get on your high horse and preach. Why haven't you done that? Why aren't you like, hey, dipshits? Like, this is the fucking way, you guys. I cannot, like, you've written some stuff about now that you're clean, that when you eat a liver, you're having basically cocaine type effects on it. You're actually you're now so pure that you actually describe that when you eat certain foods, you feel like a little boy again. You have that kind of energy. And I've never heard anyone describe anything like that. No drug, no nothing. You're like, wow, dude, I have fucking little boy energy. I'm fucking off the chart right now. Why aren't you just being like, why haven't you turned into an activist?
So I feel like I am in a way. Basically, I don't want to tell anyone what to do because I honestly don't care what anyone else does. So my entire thing is just like, this is what I'm doing and this is what it's making me feel like. And like, you can use that information for whatever you want. But I have gotten like at least 2,000 DMs of people like sincerely thanking me for like, I never knew that the grains were causing my back problems. And, now I have raw milk in the morning and whatever. So, but it's like sincere thanks. Like if it wasn't for your content being like funny and approachable, I would have just been like, fuck this guy. Because if you just see somebody saying raw chicken is good for you, you're like, fuck that guy. Like, why would you
Right.
ever? And I'm not even, the raw chicken thing is just like a dangers of raw meat experiment. It's not even like a nutrition experiment, because I tell people, I'm like, if you're going to eat raw meat, like eat beef or seafood or something. Like a chicken breast isn't going to be as good as that. But this is just like how dangerous is it actually to eat raw meat? Like, if you're a healthy person eating a healthy animal, like, is there any danger whatsoever? I kind of don't think so, but that's also what I'm testing. Yeah.
I'm guessing that there's thousands and thousands, millions of people out there who also their skin conditions have tortured them forever.
Oh yeah.
And do you get a lot of those too? Like, oh my God,
Mhm.
thank you so much. I've had high school was horrible for me. I had the worst acne ever, and I follow your
Yeah.
page now, and it's gone.
Yeah, I get tons of that. Like, I probably, eating raw meat online is like, you get as much hate as a person possibly can for doing that. But then I just, like, every couple hours you get somebody like thanking you in a way that's like really sincere from a stranger, and you're like, okay, so this is all worth it. It's worth my time. It takes like 3 minutes a day to make a video and post it and piss everybody off. So I still do it. But yeah, the skin problems, and people come into my DMs just like, hey, so if I eat raw chicken, my skin will get better. And it's like, you can take a couple steps back. Like, your skin is bad because you're eating toxic foods. You just cut down, stop eating out and stop eating seed oils for a week, and it'll start getting better. And then you replace those foods with like meat, fruit, and vegetables, whatever you want. Try to keep it clean. And then if you want to start diving into experimenting with raw meat from there, you can. But I'm never like, raw meat is the answer. A lot of people do say stuff like that. And like,
I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think you're living proof of it. I mean, and I think that there's a bunch of people, but your experiment is really.
Yeah. I mean, it's like every animal has a natural diet, and like, to have a natural diet, it has to exist in nature. So it's like, what exists in nature that we can eat? We can eat raw animals, raw fish, fruit, maybe like some weird, like dirty carrots once in a while, or honey. But like cooking, we would be the only animal in the world that has a natural diet of cooked food, which is processed, like it's a process. So having a natural diet of processed food just like isn't an equation that works. So it's like, we have to be able to eat raw shit. And if you don't want to, because you like the taste of cooked food, that's fine. I eat both, but I think there's nutritional benefits to raw. You can feel it digest better. Like, it doesn't even feel like you ate anything. And I eat raw and cooked all the time, testing how they feel. And like last night I ate a pound of cooked ground beef, and I'm like still full, because I just feel like it takes longer to digest a partially destroyed food,
Oh, why did you cook it? Did you have someone over and you were accommodating them, or?
Well, I ate a pound of raw ground beef earlier in the day. I just put sour cream and hot sauce on it. I was like, look, it's like a raw burrito bowl. But then I just go off feeling. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I just want like a hot meal that tastes good.
Do you ever cook it and then regret cooking it?
Yeah, because sometimes like cooking the animal fat just makes me feel like worse, like
Yeah.
kind of like slimy.
Mm.
I don't know what it is. Some people just have a more difficult time digesting cooked animal fat. I'm one of those people. So like when I eat it raw, I feel completely clean, like I ate a banana. But sometimes if I eat like a bunch of like cooked fat, I'll just feel sort of greasy, like I like went to McDonald's or something.
Clock. Well, Homo erectus was cooking food for 1 million years. We evolved cooking food. Is that not natural? I just want to say, I don't know if that's true, just because there's still people just eating shitloads of fucking raw meat out in nature, like those Inuits.
There's communities that never started cooking, and they aren't monkeys. So, I mean, there's a lot of theories out there, but destroying some of the nutrients in your food versus not isn't going to make you evolve into a better animal. If anything, that would make you evolve into a worse animal.
I don't think we should be wearing clothes either.
Well, you're not, Jake, in your photo, so we get it.
There you go. There are risks with everything, but E. coli 0157 can do a number on your kidneys. So not going to drink raw milk or raw meat, ground meats, more risk. Is this the status quo? Is this that's the propaganda?
I mean, you can eat E. coli and be perfectly healthy. Raw milk and raw meat are both extremely healthy, and ground meat. I mean, they say ground meat has more bacteria than a steak, but it's like, bacteria isn't something that I'm worried about whatsoever. The only worry I have is not eating enough bacteria. Like I'd rather have more.
Oh. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't mean to attack you, DM4, but like this is the talk. This is like you Googled bacteria, and this is like what it gave you, and it's.
I mean, there's people that only eat raw meat, like you saw, like the Nanette people, and like
just fresh kill, They're eating the hairs off the back of the animal and everything. It's just like it's just wild. They made a soup. The carcass of the animal was the bowl.
Yeah,
like the family was dipping into it like it was fondue.
Yeah, I'm friends with people in the Maasai tribe, and they DM me on Instagram all the time, and they live half the year on nothing but raw milk and raw blood, and there's no medicine, no worry about bacteria or E. coli. They hunt. They make tires. I mean, they make sandals out of tires, and they can hunt a lion with like a bow and arrow. Like they're like 6'5". They live to like 90 or 100 years old. No medicine. It's like, how is that possible if all this bacteria is bad for human beings?
On a side note, this isn't going to make sense to you. Sorry, John, but for those you out there, go watch Andrew Hiller's latest video when he was filming with the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, Tyson Bagent. His workout partner is working out like in like fucking this tiniest sandals ever and running. It's crazy. And he set a really good time. Did you see that video, Souza?
No, not that portion.
Yeah, it's like those like Indian sandals, the tiniest sandals you've ever seen. It's nuts.
Wow.
Hey, are you consuming a shitload of water?
Not a shitload. No. I just drink when I'm thirsty. I think the whole like gallon of water a day thing was made up by like Pepsi to sell Dasani or whatever.
Yes,
or Coke or one of those.
Gatorade was a big part of that too. Yeah, Pepsi's a huge part of the drink. But I just noticed that when I started eating just meat for a while, I was consuming way more water, and I was getting up if I ate a shitload of meat before I went to bed, I would get up in the middle of the night to drink water.
Yeah, were you putting a lot of salt on it? The salt will do it to me.
It will. Okay, maybe I was. I don't remember.
If I go low or no salt, like I did an experiment a couple months ago where I did nothing but raw milk for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Like no drugs, no food, no water. Literally the only thing that went into my body at all was raw cow's milk for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I felt great. It was I felt better. I think that was like my best feeling experiment so far. Like I just felt like perfectly clean and energized the whole time. But you had to piss a lot because it's like just a lot of liquid. So that was the only annoying part.
In Gandhi's autobiography, he was completely plant-based. He refused to kill an animal, and he was on his deathbed, and he said, bring me raw milk.
Really?
And he drank a glass of raw milk, and he was fucking golden. He broke his vow of never to eat animal and basically resurrected from the dead.
Yeah, I remember reading like Queen Elizabeth would make sure that she had raw milk every morning. She lived to like 102 or something, but she probably also ate babies, so you never know.
Hey, what about nuts?
It's not like a part of my diet. I'm not like scared of them, like I enjoy them if they're around.
Dried fruit?
I'd rather have regular fruit.
Right.
I feel like, I don't know, just like keeping it as close to natural as possible makes me feel better. This isn't to say like you have to eat raw meat to be healthy. We've seen plenty of people eating steak and potatoes forever and being like pretty healthy, but there's benefits to it. I mean, people are like, act like I'm attacking them for eating cooked stuff, but like I enjoy and eat cooked stuff as well.
I want to play you this video I saw yesterday. How have you do you think more clearly now? Do you think your perspective has maybe not even think more clearly, but your perspective on the world has shifted a little bit as you? Yeah.
Well, can just, it's like, all any animal has ever needed to be like perfectly healthy and happy was just like, what does a human need? Friends, maybe like a social life, a family, food from nature, and like time outside. That's it. So like you really don't need much to be happy. And if you have healthy food from nature, that's like the key, because if you're missing it, that's when a lot of the mental health problems come. It's like you're eating too much bread, or like you're just not getting what you're supposed to be getting, eating nothing but artificial foods.
How would you define a mental health problem? What would that look like? How does that manifest?
Just anything like depression. I don't know. Even like I've seen tons of people being like fixed of schizophrenia from eating like a keto meat-based diet and stuff like that. There's like a Harvard doctor that has done a ton of work on that.
So kind of perseverating on negative thoughts, is that mental illness?
Yeah, I would say a bunch of stuff like that. It's like, I feel like it's like an animal in the zoo when they just like run around in circles forever, and like there's something wrong. Like either it's from not being around, not having a social life, or just eating the wrong foods.
I think that's why a lot of people exercise too, to get moments of freedom from their perseverate, to repeat for a prolonged period of time. Yeah, just to get stuck on a thought.
Mm-hmm.
The world's a bad place. The world's a bad place. I mean, you've seen parents like that, right? Are my kids in danger? 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 And then they think they're going to fix it by getting their kid a cell phone, and now their kid's being fucking groomed to fucking suck some guy's dick in an alley. And it's like, wait, what?
We're all supposed to be in a little bit of danger, but like you can enjoy it. I
just realized that. What's the Greek story where they say they tell the guy, hey, your son's going to sleep with your wife. So he sends his son off to kill his son. He puts him in a mountain and leaves him there to die. And then someone saves him and he ends up fucking his mom. Do you know that story? What story is that? Well,
no.
It's someone's
got it. Caleb's got it for you here.
Oedipus. Yeah, thank you. Oedipus was born to the king and queen of Thebes, Laius. The prophet announced that the baby would grow up to kill his father and bang his mom. Yeah. So he gets rid of the fucking kid. I just realized this. He gets rid of the kid, and then the kid, obviously someone saves the kid, and then comes back and he fucking kills him and bangs his mom. But I just described that, the modern day Oedipus thing. You think that you're getting your kid a cell phone for safety, but you just lead your kid to danger. You just gave the whole world. The attachment of the child, the Oedipus complex. Okay. The attachment of the child to the parent of the opposite sex, accompanied by envious and aggressive feelings towards the parents of the same sex. Yeah, like duh. But that's just like duh. God, I fucking hate academia. That's like I got my PhD. I remember my anthropology instructor, Anthropology 101. He had his PhD in monkeys' behaviors, and his thesis was that they wrestle as baby monkeys so that they'll be good fighters when they're older. I'm like, oh, good job, buddy. Fantastic. I mean, if you practice wrestling with your siblings, you'll be a good fighter. Wow.
Unlock the mysteries of life.
You mean that you're going to be attracted and love your mom because you suck on her titties, but your dad's banging her, so you're going to have some weird feelings about him? Oh, impressive. Good job. Fuck.
Really unwound that one.
Fucking douche.
Very impressive.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it's okay to love the fuck out of your mom. Don't let anyone get it twisted. And it's okay to fucking tussle with your dad. I love that my kids love my kids tell me all the time, we love mom more than you. I'm like, good, that's healthy. Okay, check this out, John. Way off subject here, but let's probe into the mind of John. Here we go.
So this video with me is Pete Holmes tells the most controversial joke on the planet, and it is hilarious. Let's watch it.
People think God created the universe. Some people think nothing created the universe, which is the funniest guess. And the nothing people make fun of the God people. They say God doesn't exist. I'm like, okay, maybe. But you know what definitely doesn't exist? Nothing. That's the defining characteristic of nothing, is that it doesn't exist. So what are we talking about? Either you think it's God, something you can't see, touch, taste, photograph, and science can't prove, or you think it's nothing, something you can't see, touch, taste, photograph, and science can't prove. We can all agree, if your nothing sometimes spontaneously erupts into everything, that's a pretty magical nothing, you guys. And ask the nothing people, what happens when you die? They'll tell you, nothing. You go into nothing. I'm like, you mean you merge back with your creator?
Aren't words fun?
Yeah.
Evan,
Aren't fucking words fun? John, is there a God? Like, is there life after death? Is there awareness? Do we maintain awareness after death?
I hope not, honestly.
Oh no.
No,
Oh
I'm just kidding.
no.
I mean, season 2, damn, we do enough. But I think that the organized religions are kind of ways of controlling mass amounts of people. I'm sure there are religions that are far more true that I'm not aware of. So I'm sure there is some sort of creator or creation, you know. A lot of people like look to nature as like the god or whatever. I just think, you know, like in India, they'll say, what is it, reincarnation? So like they're like, you're poor and we own you because you did something bad in your last life, and that's karma. So that's kind of just like a scam that rich people used to make poor people feel like they deserve it. So I'm not really quite sure about the reincarnation thing. I think, yeah, I forgot where I was going with it, but
Just awareness. Do you have any thoughts on whether we have awareness after death?
Yeah, so I'll say I don't subscribe to any religion itself, but I wouldn't be surprised, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just not really sure.
Do you dream?
Yeah.
Vivid? Regular?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Once they say when you quit weed, you start like dreaming again. So I smoked from like 12 to like 32, and now I'm back, and I dream probably every night, and I wake up and I'm like, damn, that shit was kind of annoying.
I wish I could have just slept. Just let me go unconscious.
Yeah, like why did you have to make it that? You know, like I forget what it is pretty quickly after, but I'm just like, you really had to bring that shit up, you know?
Hey, I appreciate what you do. There's no better way to live your life than to experiment. And through what I would perceive you have is amazing discipline and habits and structure and self-awareness to manipulate yourself. And I appreciate you sharing it with the world. I think that's what Instagram is at its highest level should be used for. So thank you, dude. You're a wonderful asset to humanity. Thanks for being you, John.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that you understand what I'm doing on there, because not everybody does.
Dude, you're a great human, dude. You are a human laboratory, and you're doing it to explore. Other people may want to go to space or the bottom of the ocean. You're doing a really important exploration at a time when humanity needs it more than ever. So thank you for being you, dude. And in your demeanor and your don't change anything. You're not being a fucking douche nozzle like myself is wonderfully refreshing. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, dude. Anytime
Thanks,
you're in
John.
Santa Cruz, California, you have a place to stay. And
Hell yeah.
I've had 1,800 guests, and I don't know if I've ever said that to any of them. I always want to hang out with them, but I've never offered them a place to sleep. You're always welcome at my house, dude.
Appreciate it. We might move to Sacramento in a couple years, so.
What, you have a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Girls are good.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, brother. Have a good day.
All right.
Thanks, John.
Later, y'all.
Ciao. Fuck, I love that dude.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. I want to know where he works at the meme factory, the meme farm.
He
That
did.
seems
He
like
did that
very
last
fun.
time. He worked at the meme farm last time.
Yeah, I know. I forgot about that part. Of it.
Does this unlock a little bit of a conspiracy about where memes come from, though? If they're meme factories? I don't know, man. I got suspicious after that.
For sure. Elon's got
Suspicious.
his own meme farm back at Twitter or X.
Mm-hmm.
I
All
don't
the
buy the whole
Doge
thing
going
that
on.
religion's made to manipulate people. And here's the reason why. That's like saying a stick is made to manipulate people. Okay, yeah. If I wave that thing at you, it's made to manipulate
What
you.
did
Like,
he say religion was, or like it is made to manipulate people into acting and behaving in a certain way in accordance?
I don't think it's made for that. I think maybe it could be that. It's like a stick is what I'm saying. Like a stick could be like, it could be, you could throw it in the fire and it could burn and keep us warm. I could use it to go hunt food, or I could use it to be like, hey, Sousa, get back to fucking work, motherfucker. I'm fucking hit you with
Beat
this.
you with this stick.
Yeah, I'm beat you with this stick. So I just but I mean, it's not. I'm not taking a dig at John either. It was just a quick I just saw this and I thought I really liked the way this guy talked about nothing. And I also encourage anyone to think of that about the meditate or really think about that word nothing and also as in no thing. Like those are two different ideas.
Right.
Nothing and no thing. So, yeah, you could put a stick up your ass. Thank you, David. Yeah, you could fucking.
John also just seems like a skeptic of everything, hence his meat experiments, right? Like,
Right,
oh, don't eat raw stuff, you're gonna get sick. He's like, well, are you? Let's see what happens.
Sevan wants to take John's raw meat. Why? 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 Why?
Because you're gonna bring up his comment, we're all gonna laugh and talk
Why?
about it.
Why? Manipulation is a fundamental feature. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. You have bad habits. Or we're all trying to manipulate things in order to get pussy. I mean, like,
Majority of the time.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Are you gonna try raw chicken?
I am.
You are. Are you
Yeah.
gonna film it?
You think I should? I was thinking about just
Yeah.
going inside right now and just eating the egg with the shell.
Please film it.
Okay.
I would like to. Members only. Members only. Become a member. You can see Sevan eat a egg, full egg, eggshell and all.
And then you can see him poop it out later.
They want to see the full life cycle.
I have
Make sure that
bound-
it doesn't tear up the butthole when it comes out. You know.
I do have boundaries. I've had deuces that I've wanted to take pictures of and post, and I've just like put the kibosh on it. I've been like,
You've never done that? Have you done that before? You take a picture of it, send it to your friends.
Yeah.
There used to be a whole Twitter page. It was like a skater that did it. It was like a popular skater, and his whole page was just the morning shit he took.
If I would marvel. I would have this dilemma if I took a shit that was like when I used to eat like out all the time, and I'd eat like these like people who eat at
Like a Michelin
Chipotle
restaurant.
Like if you eat at Chipotle, you could take a shit in the morning where the head of it is gone in the drain hole, and then it's also laying on the bowl. And those are crazy. You're just
Those
like,
are my
fuck, dude.
favorite.
Like and like you're trying to wipe your ass and throw the toilet paper on the side so you could still like look at it when you get up.
You're like, what a log.
Yeah, you just can't even believe it.
Those are the best. 'Cause then you're just cleaned out.
You guys.
I found a page the other
Oh,
day called
God.
Scenic Pisses, and it's just like dudes taking a piss on top of mountains. It's amazing.
Oh,
wow,
so it's like a
wow.
beautiful background, and it's just a stream going.
Yep,
Wow.
it's fantastic. It's got millions of followers too.
That's a great account. Holy smokes!
There you go. Maybe 1 million. How about that?
Let's see one. No shit. Wow. Oh, so that's like that guy like works on cell phone towers probably.
Yeah,
That's
that was
why
by the
AT
outage.
Yep, exactly. The outage.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
Got a volcano.
Wow.
Do people send them in, or is it the same person?
I think they send them in because it's a different
Uh,
stream pretty regularly. Like one guy,
yeah.
he needs to get his shit checked because it was spraying all over the place.
Yeah.
He
guys
wasn't
are a little-
circumcised. He wasn't circumcised.
Yeah,
Oh
Just
boy.
It was hitting the just the flap of skin just flapping around.
That's good.
Wow, that's
this guy
yellow.
definitely needs to get his shit checked.
Yeah,
God,
that's a
that shit is-
multivitamin right
Mountain
there.
Dew.
Jesus Christ.
The multi.
That is multivitamin. Hey, the comments must be crazy.
Oh, they're awesome. It's so good.
Post sex pee? What the fuck?
Oh, look. I don't know. Stream 4 out of 10. Hydration 0 to 10. Stream overall 2.5, 2.5. Overall, what's unweighted and weighted? What's that mean?
That's funny.
Maybe it's all based off a bell curve or something.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah, these are great.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
God, today's gonna be, dude. The UFC is gonna be insane tonight out of Mexico. All right. Thanks, guys. Caleb, thank you. Susie, thank you. God, Susie, your camera's nice.
Thank you. You like it?
It's really nice.
Now that my internet's working more properly.
Hey guys, the Matuthian got smashed. Dale said they got to have people working over the weekend to get it out. You guys are gonna love it. As start DMing me and letting me know how you guys like it. You're gonna absolutely like it. You don't need a lot. You just wet your toothbrush, tap it out, and then just put a little in there, and start reading up about the ingredients that are in there. The bentonite clay sourced from a great spot, eggshells. Start looking at the ingredients, and you'll be like, oh, I'm stoked. I'm off the Crest.
You're
or
off big
Tom's
toothpaste.
or whatever. Yeah, you're not shooting
big
your stuff
toothpaste.
out of a plastic tube every morning into your fucking mouth.
You got to squeeze it all the way down to the end.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna be vendors at these competitions now too. Now you know that, right?
You just have a huge Matoothian
Little
booth at the games.
Yeah, like a Matoothian booth.
Just a group of CrossFitters hanging out, analyzing the color of pee streams.
That's right.
Olivia, I ordered mine yesterday. Awesome.
Thanks, Olivia. Please send us in. If you guys send us in your photos of you using the Matoothian on your stories or on your Instagram, tag us, because at the end of this month, we're gonna do something nice for you for free. You're gonna come on the show, and we're gonna watch you brush your teeth while you tell us about the Matoothian while you're brushing your teeth.
Wow. Yeah,
So
wow.
that's what you win.
Wow. Oh yeah, you
Our
got.
social
Hey,
media content.
listen. If you do want to do that, if you do want to, like the first time you use Matoothian, film it. Let me know.
Yep. The best one will get posted on the podcast IG.
Well, all the good
Sevan
ones.
will pick
We'll
it.
we'll
Sevan
post
pick it.
all the good ones. If you don't like it, we won't post it. But all the good ones, we'll post the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Look at
So
Kristen
you can
Keller. No fentanyl laced Matoothian from Portsmouth. Oh, that hit hard. You know,
Yeah.
Dale's in the
That's
comments. That
fucked
hurt hard. Dale just fucking ran outside and started crying. Jesus criminy. It's nothing sacred. Holy shit.
Damn.
Oh my God. Graciano Rubio, I'll charge you less than Sporty Beth does for a promo. You're a good dude. You're a good dude, Graciano.
That's extra, Dale says.
All right. Oh shit, I'm late. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Adios.
I think there'll be news today. I got some good stuff already, so I'll see you guys on the news. Okay.
Weight loss story tomorrow. Adios.
Bye-bye. Oh yeah, big